The hideout, in my opinion, has been one of the best additions to Escape from Tarkov in a very long time. Not only can you use it to make tons of money, you can also craft quest items, increase your strength skill, gamble, and so much more. The only downside is that it takes millions of rubles to max out every station, and a lot of it can be pretty complex to newer players. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys what you can expect from a completely maxed out hideout. Did you guys know that 98% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed? That's insane. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you might as well turn on notifications while you're at it. Just make sure you don't miss out on any future videos. That's all I'm asking. All right, so we're going to be jumping straight into this video. This is going to be kind of a showcase of everything you can do in the hideout. As you can see, I have everything completely maxed out. Everything is the highest level that you can get it. Now, if you guys are looking for kind of a tutorial on how to use the hideout to make money, I already have a video on that. It'll be up in the top right of the screen. Go ahead and click on it. But as you can see, I've got everything up and running. It is time to collect all of my crafts. So I'm going to do that real quick, reset everything, and then show you guys everything from there. All right, so I'm going to try and keep this quick, but basically we're going to be going through every single station, and I'm going to be showing you guys what you can do with it. The ones that have crafts, I'm going to be showing you guys all the crafts. So if you're curious what a level 3 lavatory offers, you'll be able to see that. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the gym because it is over here out of the way and it's kind of hard to see. Now in this video, I'm not really going to be showing you guys what it takes to build each of these stations. This is just kind of a showcase on each one. So if you jump on in your hideout, run over here to this door. Once you got the gym up, you can come in here and you will see this. So basically, I believe they added the gym last wipe, and it allows you to do a little workout, kind of a little mini game, and it will increase your strength. So you got this little mini game here. Basically, when the line gets in the hexagon, you will click and then you are increasing your strength points. Now, once it gets down to these lower ones, I'm not the best, but we'll see if I can ace this real quick. And I missed. Basically, if you miss too many of those in a row, you will get a fracture on one or both of your arms. One thing to keep in mind is when you do this strength training, it will lower your food and water. So make sure if you're about to go into a raid, you top that off. And also you will get a mild muscle pain. I don't know if this has any sort of effect on like in-raid performance or anything like that. I don't really notice anything, but keep in mind that is there. So that's it for the gym. Basically just a little extra thing you can do to train your strength and get that level up. But we're going to be moving on from that to the shooting range. Now, there are 3 different tiers of the shooting range, obviously, but with level 3, you're going to have all the cool targets and they move and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Once you get it to level 3, your skills leveling boost for combat is going to go up, and this is all going to depend on, I believe, your hideout management skill, which we will touch on very quickly. Just understand that a lot of crafting times and these percentage boosts are going to be affected by your hideout management and crafting skills. So my number might not look the same as yours. It all depends on these levels right here. So if we jump in, go over to the shooting range, as you can see, we've got all these targets here. You can pull out whatever weapon that you have and you can start shooting at targets, doing whatever you want to do. And then there's also this little laptop here where you can do certain things. You can turn on the poppers and I believe they'll go down. My aim is terrible. And then you can turn on these white targets to make them go back and forth. All right, up next, we're gonna have the weapon rack. Mine is level 3, as you can see. This is how much space you get on it. I did a video on this to show you guys how to put weapons in here with no pistol grips to save room. You can get a lot more weapons on here. A lot of people didn't realize that you can flip it around and you have a whole nother side. Essentially, this is the size of like 3 or 4 weapon cases. So at this point, I don't even really have a need for weapon cases. I just use this. All right, moving on from the weapon rack, we've got the workbench. We've got this little debuff of reducing weapon repair costs using repair kits by 10.5%. Also allows you to customize your weapons using the workbench and allows you to repair weapons with the repair kit. Basically, for these crafting stations, I'm just going to scroll through so you guys can see all of the crafts that you can do. And again, just remember that my crafting times are probably going to be a little bit different than yours. I don't want to go too in depth with everything. If you don't know what some of these items are, you can always use the wiki, and I believe it will tell you everything you can craft on there. But just so you guys can see. We'll do a quick scroll through on each station just to give you kind of an idea. All right, so that is everything on the workbench. And then obviously, as you can see, you can hit the little heart right here and it will favorite it and put it at the top, so you don't have to scroll all the way down to continue crafting stuff. Moving on from the workbench, we're gonna have the lavatory. Lavatory allows you to use armor repair kits, and it reduces the armor repair kit cost by 10.5%. And again, that's obviously because of the hideout management skill. So again, we're gonna scroll through, show you guys all of the crafts that you can do. As you can see, you can craft a lot of quest items using this. So if you ever get stuck on a certain quest that requires one of these items, just know if you focus on building the lavatory, you can craft those things. All right, moving on from the lavatory, we obviously have the stash. If you have the EOD edition, this does not matter. Your stash is already going to be maxed out. But if you have the standard edition of the game, this is something that you will want to focus on upgrading. And I know it's pretty expensive to do, but some people do it every wipe. But other than that, I don't really know anything about this. I've pretty much always had EOD edition, so I've never had to mess with it. Moving on from there, we've got Intel Center, and as you can see, we have a lot of debuffs over here. So scav cooldown timer, quest money reward boost, insurance return time, and flea market commission. You can read all those numbers there. A lot of people don't know on the Intel Center you can craft things. Here are all the crafts. The only one that's really worth doing, in my opinion, is the Intel folder, but the rest of these, I don't really think they're worth it. All right, so moving on from the Intel Center, we have the Bitcoin farm. Now, the Bitcoin farm basically allows you to throw GPUs in here, and it will craft Bitcoins up to 3. I believe they take around 13 hours per 1 Bitcoin with maxed out GPUs. As far as time goes with level 1 and level 2 Bitcoin farm, I don't really know off the top of my head, but mine is maxed out. So if you're curious, with 50 GPUs, I believe it takes around 13 hours to craft 1 Bitcoin. And I also believe that the hideout management and crafting skill has no effect on this. Just keep that in mind. All right, moving on from there, obviously there's going to be a few that we don't really need to talk about, like vents, security, lighting, or illumination, stuff like that. These don't really have any use other than using them to unlock other stations to build. The only one that really has any sort of effect on the hideout is illumination. If you look over here, you can have different kind of lights, candles, light bulbs, and then gas lamps. Next up, we have the scav case. If you guys haven't already seen it, I have a whole series of running each of these 10 times just to give you an idea of what each one will give you. But as you can see, you have 5 different options, and this is all just basically a gamble. Start it up, and then once the time is gone, you will get some items. It could be good, could be bad. You could make money, you could lose money. I do know that your fence rep has an effect on how long these take, so the higher you level up your scav karma, the less time this will take, and obviously vice versa. If you're a bad scav, these timers will go up. If you're a good scav, these timers will go down. I believe mine right now is at 3.15, so these times reflect that. All right, moving on from there, we have the generator. Now, the generator allows you to put fuel in here, and obviously you need fuel to run the hideout. As you can see, one of these fuel cans has a very high timer right now. That's because I have solar power, but I'm pretty sure one of the large metal fuel tanks without solar power lasts for around 22 hours or something like that. I can't remember, but with solar power, that number is going to increase drastically. So I believe at level 1 generator you can have 2, level 2 generator you can have 4 fuel cans, and level 3 generator you can have 6. So jumping over from the generator straight over to solar power. Solar power is very expensive to get up and running, and it also requires an item that you can only get on labs. And when you do find that item in labs, you cannot put it in your secure container, so you have to make sure you get out with it alive. Basically, solar power is going to decrease your fuel consumption by 58%, And obviously this number is affected by hideout management. All right, moving on from the generator, we have the water collector. These are going to allow you to take water filters and craft them into super waters, the purified waters. And I believe these take around 5.5 hours for me, but basically all you can do in here is craft these purified waters, which you use for moonshine, which we will jump into next. Here we have the booze generator. You take one of the purified waters and 2 sugars and it will allow you to craft a moonshine. I basically have this crafting non-stop and I just fill up a little mini fridge with these moonshines. When I get a bunch of them, I'll sell them all at once, make a bunch of money. All right, moving on from the booze generator, we have the nutrition unit. And as you can see here, these are the ones that I'm rotating through at the moment. And then also here are all of the bonuses that you get from the nutrition unit. Obviously these change between level 1, 2, and 3. You have energy regeneration rate, health regeneration rate, and hydration regeneration rate. We're gonna go ahead and scroll through all of the nutrition unit crafts that you can do. Obviously there's a few quest ones in here if you need that. And then there are a bunch of good money makers as well. All right, moving on from the nutrition unit, we have the air filtering unit. This allows you to throw in these big ol' FP100 filters, and it gives you a 40% increase to your physical skills. So strength, endurance, stuff like that. Actually, we'll go check it out and I'll show you guys. So all of these skills, if you have that filter running, are gonna get a boost and they will level much faster. So you can have up to 3 of these things in here. One of them lasts for 17 hours and that is based off of my current skill levels. This thing is really nice for maxing out strength, endurance, all that good stuff. If you want to do that, you might want to have one of these running constantly. But when you're done for the day, let's say you're like me and you leave the generator on all the time to produce Bitcoin. Say you're done, but you don't want to waste this, you can just take it out and it will not drain it anymore. Moving on from that, we have the med station. Med station is one of my favorites. As you can see here, the only bonus that you get is the health regeneration rate, and it is quite high. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through all of the crafts right here. Again, as you can see, these are the ones that I'm rotating through, but this is everything that you can craft. Got a few quest ones in here. I know a lot of people in my LEDX video were saying, oh, why are you going to Shoreline when you can just craft one? Well, it requires 2 things that most players are not going to be able to get their hands on. This microcontroller board, I believe, can only be found on labs. And then this book right here, I believe, is an item that you get from Lightkeeper. And I'm level 44, been playing the game a ton, and I still have not made it to Lightkeeper quests. So just keep that in mind. Crafting a LEDX is nowhere near as easy as it used to be. All right, so down here we've got 3 more. The heating doesn't really matter. It's just another one of those things that you have to build in order to move on to the next one. Actually, I lied. Heating does have a few debuffs. So right here, obviously you have an energy regeneration rate and a negative effects removal rate. Oh, there you go. I went and checked all the other ones. They don't have any effects like this, but heating does. And then moving on to the rest space, here are the bonuses that it gives you: negative effects removal rate, energy regeneration rate, health regeneration rate, maximum energy reserve plus 10 points. So what this means is it gives you an extra 10 points to your food, and I'll show you guys that real quick. So as you can see right here, when you start out on a fresh wipe, your energy level will be at 100, but once you get rest space max out, you will get an extra 10 points to your energy. All right, so finally, we're going to move on to the last module in the hideout, and that is going to be the library. And basically, all this does, it gives you additional raid experience and group of skills leveling boost, practical 35%. So we'll jump over to our skills, switch it over to practical, and you'll see here are all of our practical skills, and they're basically non-stop getting a boost from the library. And the good thing about it is it's not like the air filtering unit where you have to have one of these things in. It is just constantly running as long as you have fuel, and it will constantly level up. And that is going to do it for the hideout. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and restart all of my crafts. So again, if you guys are wanting to know how to make money in the hideout, I have a video on that. If you want to know how to put more weapons on the weapon rack, I also have a video on that. Just head over to my channel and they will be easy to find. But I hope this kind of gives you guys an idea of what the hideout has to offer. Maybe you've been curious about what some of these modules give you at max level, and hopefully this video helped you guys understand a lot of it and helped you understand the hideout at max level. I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of the support. I appreciate you guys being here. If there's anything you want to add down in the comments, feel free to do so. I'd love to hear about it. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.